Good afternoon, this is Media Center Ukraine Odessa, and our today's briefing is dedicated to installation of mobile shelters in Kherson. We are having with us today Ilya Blokhin, head of the SafePlace4UA project and the charity organization Yunist 2.0. Good afternoon to everyone, and first of all, I would like to thank the Media Center Ukraine in Odessa for giving me an opportunity to tell about our activities. And I would also like to thank Media Center Ukraine Odessa for establishing contacts between us and international and national journalists. Our project was founded 6 months ago, and over that period we have already installed 6 shelters, including 4 shelters in Kherson that we installed in January this year, and 2 shelters in Mykolaiv. Over the period, different companies have joined us in implementation of the project. And 70% of the companies asked for the information, 30 companies provided donations, and we have collected around 2.55 million hryvnias. 95% cover donations from legal entities and 5% for natural persons, or a bit less. So I think that in the nearest future, we are going to take efforts to look for international partners. A member of our team is now in Germany, and I think that in the nearest future, we will get some positive information from there. Unfortunately, the frontline cities like Kherson, Zaporizhzhia, Kryvyi Rih, which is not a frontline city, but which is heavily shelled by artillery, and Nikopol, have the situation where shellings are continuous, and we don't expect that the shelling will be over in the nearest future. So we are focused on these cities, and we are looking for resources to install shelters there. We continue our work, so our project will last as long as the military aggression takes place. So we are going to support local population despite of barriers and despite of challenges. Thank you. Do you have any plans to make invincibility points in your mobile shelters? There was a proposal to install one shelter in Kherson close to the invincibility point, and that's not a problem, but invincibility point was moved to another place, and so we installed our mobile shelter in the point that was agreed before. So we have an opportunity to ensure a power supply. There are benches, there is no heating there, but we can also provide for heating there. But as for other elements needed for the invincibility points, this is up to locals and local authority to finalize the installment of the invincibility point in our mobile shelters. In Kherson, we have a volunteer. His name is Serhiy, and he is actively involved in the process of installing shelters and ensuring the stationary shelters. He supports us a lot, and I would like to thank him for that aid. And I think that together with him, we will be able to install invincibility points in such districts like Ostrovy or Island in Kherson, which have been heavily shelled. And we are preparing one more mobile shelter, which we are going to install in that district in the city of Kherson. Thank you. Do you receive requests from administrations of other cities which are heavily shelled, like Kharkiv? No. So just a direct answer to your question. Usually we address them and waiting for their response. For example, when it comes to Odessa military regional administration, we waited for a month or a bit more for the answer to our request in terms of the place to install our mobile shelter. And we now have the list of the possible places of installment. So now we just need to find resources to install our mobile shelters in line with the list provided by the Odessa administration. So usually this is our initiative. We have not addressed their regional administration so far, but actually they manage to use their own budget funds to install shelters. I have not analyzed in details the situation with expenses there, but we have not addressed Kharkiv, but we are going to address administrations in other cities. So this is our initiative. So we are the first to ask. Thank you very much for being here. We had Ilya Blokhin, head of the SafePlace4UA project, and thank you for being with us. Stay tuned.